This episode of KSTV is brought to you by Gem Creative, custom designs, printing, web designs, SEO, and more.
Well, hi, and welcome back. I'm Kevin, and this is...
I'm still Ron.
Still, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Still Ron. Good.
I'm running with Ron. Running with Ron.
Cool.
Yes,
and
I'm
it's
that guy.
The Kevin and Ron show, or
Yeah.
the Ron and Kevin show, or whatever you want to call it. Thanks for tuning in. It was kind of nice after last month. Actually, we're in February now, pardon me.
Yeah.
So after last month's tapings that we did, and it was kind of nice to get some feedback, and it was all positive feedback that I noticed.
Well, thank you. It's probably that's all that I would notice personally, because that's the best way to live.
And there was all comments about you, not me.
Of course.
I was left out, so that's normal. But that's okay. but thank you for writing in and making your comments. That's great. Any suggestions you guys have for topics, hey, let us know.
Yeah, throw it our way.
And you know what?
Great.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to start off with February, because January's been such a crazy month for weather. Mm-hmm. We've had snow, we've had rain, we've had above zero temperatures.
Yeah.
What's next?
I'm waiting for us, 20 above and the beaches to be open, personally. And that's a February 23rd thing, maybe.
Ah, okay.
That's almost prophetic, if you want to.
Well, you could say that, yes.
Yes.
Although I'm running out of money to buy ice melt from the rain that keeps coming down.
Now I want to let you know that my father was an actual meteorologist.
Oh.
A weather forecast, one of the real guys.
Oh.
And
interesting.
And so I have a different perspective on weather. He used to say 80%. If we get 80% right, we're good.
Wow.
The public doesn't particularly think we're good, but 80% is a great average. That's what he used to say.
I hope my doctor's got 100% because I couldn't handle 80%,
Yeah, wouldn't that be something to be 80% dead, or 20% dead and 80% alive?
Wow.
That
kind of sounds like...
It sounds like our weather.
It sounds like Parliament too.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I was going to stay away from the politics in this weather thing. But
okay,
whether we do that with the weather, maybe. Okay, so have you ever had as much, I'll call it rain, as compared to snow in January?
It's been really freaky, and it's been dangerous for driving and for walking. I know one lady here in a parking lot. She slipped and got a concussion. Had to get airlifted to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
And
just unbelievable.
Oh, January is just being so strange.
That's the word. I would even use the word weird, much like you and I talking. We're a little
kind of
weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
weather the weather.
Weather the weather. Well, weather the weather as best you can.
Yes.
Until you see us next time.
Exactly.
All right.
News sponsored by Impact Energy Services. There when it matters most. SGI releases collision report. According to the preliminary statistics from SGI, collisions on Saskatchewan roads resulted in the deaths of 87 people in 2021. While not all collision investigations are complete, the preliminary data available for 2021 concludes that impairment, speeding, distraction, and not wearing a seatbelt are the main safety concerns. For the investigations that are complete, in more than 1/3 of vehicle occupant deaths, the victim was not wearing their seatbelt or was improperly restrained. Driver impairment remains the leading cause of fatalities. Excessive speed, driver distraction, and inattention are factors in more than 1 out of every 5 deaths. Fake COVID-19 vaccine text message reported. eHealth Saskatchewan has received reports of a text message scam about COVID-19 vaccines. The message poses as an online vaccination scheduling website contacting you about your 3rd COVID-19 vaccine. The fraudulent message contains a malicious link, which may ask you to download software that contains malware. Malware can infect your device and put you at risk for identity fraud by exposing your personal information, banking details, and online account credentials. Do not tap the link. If you suspect you have been a victim of cybercrime or fraud, please contact your local police or the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre's online reporting system.
Hey, welcome back. This is Ron.
Yeah, this is, what's his name over here?
I'm Kevin. Hi.
Yes, this is Kevin, by the way.
Welcome back, by the way, and thank you. This Kindersley Social TV thing is awesome. It's given us a forum to kind of give our thoughts and opinions about different things. And with this crazy changing world that we're living in, we thought we'd talk today about a little bit of a serious topic, and that is staying mentally healthy. How do you do it? Think about that. Some people listen to music, some people read a book, some people go for a drive. There's all kinds of ways you can divert and deflect the bad stuff.
And for me, as I think of my own mental health, understanding what's happening, that's important for me. Delving into, I'm a bit of a research geek anyway, so learning things and understanding and knowing. Part of a big part of mental health is realizing that you aren't as crazy as you think you are. Knowing that you're not alone.
Yes.
And there are others that have gone through what you've gone through. They've dealt with it. Learning from them, spending time with other people, finding family.
Yes.
There's just many things.
And just when you think you've got it really bad, you find somebody who's maybe had it worse. And you realize, you know what, maybe I'm not in such a bad situation. And which is obviously good, but on the other hand, helping other people is another way that you can find some mental health in that and make us help other people to feel better about themselves.
Serving other people takes us outside of ourselves and says, other people are who they are, and if I can help them, that's great. And that then gives us a sense of purpose, a sense of mission, which is part of mental health.
Yes.
Is getting ourselves beyond, out of. If anything, you talk about lifting up.
Yes.
The way that we look, if person has a very difficult mental health situation and you are with them, you'll find that they're constantly looking down. But as they begin to look up, it seems like it almost lifts them up, and they start saying, there is a purpose, there is a reason. And coming to that situation is just really important with mental health.
It is, and also knowing that you can ask for help. It's not a bad thing to ask for help. But a lot of people they prefer to try to go it alone, and that's not always good. It's just not always. And you know from firsthand experience, sometimes it's not always good. And it's okay to ask for help.
And I think part of, as a pastor and dealing with people in their whole spiritual realm, that sense of saying there is beyond, there is more. It's not just me digging in, because when I dig in way too far, way too far, and that's just not good. You got to go beyond that.
You do. And then, once you find yourself getting in a better place, then maybe you can pass on what you know to somebody else.
For sure. And that's part of the whole 12-step group thing, the whole small group mental health units and that type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we need each other. That's if I could say something about mental health, we need each other. If we aren't able to get together with each other, however that happens, we are going to float downwards and
human beings are social animals. And we're not we shouldn't be loners.
No,
we shouldn't be, but some of us are.
To
some degree, and that's okay too. But when you need help, don't be a loner.
Well, you remember the old song, "I am a rock, I am an island."
Paul Simon.
Yeah, how stupid was that? But the song itself points out that's a stupid thing. Don't be a rock. Don't be an island.
That's very true.
Get out of there.
That's right. Yeah. Get out of your own head, so to speak, and see the world.
Right.
Exactly.
So that sounds like next week. Next time.
Our next
if
topic.
We get an we could talk about traveling.
Let's do that.
Okay.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi guys, we have a quick message from one of our sponsors today. Merlin Electronics has been delivering electronic solutions to Kindersley for over 35 years. We are partners with Group Millennium Micro and Simply Computing. Along with carrying a wide selection of audio, video, computer, Apple, and lifestyle products, Merlin is your SaskTel dealer, which brings cellular, Max TV, DSL, and Fusion high-speed internet. We also have a full in-house repair shop for all your electronic needs. Visit merlinelectronics.com for more info. That's merlinelectronics.com. Merlin Electronics, Kindersley's original source for electronics.
Sports, sponsored by the Tint Doctor. We've got you covered. Stampeders signed Caden Johnson. The Calgary Stampeders announced they have added former Kerrobert resident Caden Johnson to their roster. Johnson played high school football in the West Central region and post-secondary sports with the U of S Huskies and New York Lions. Johnson has also been spending time training with the 2022 Beijing Olympics Canadian Development Bobsled team. Congratulations, Caden. Kindersley Clippers upcoming games. The Kindersley Clippers will take to the road on February 11th, 12th, 13th, and the 18th will be playing away games. February 11th, we will see the Clippers play the Estevan Bruins. On the 12th, they will take on the Weyburn Red Wings, and on the 13th, our hometown boys will play the Notre Dame Hounds. On the 18th, they will take on the Melfort Mustangs. February 19th, we'll see the boys return to home ice where they have to take on the Humboldt Broncos.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Kevin, and
I'm Ron.
hey, we're still here.
Yep.
We're still here to entertain.
Can you believe it?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They asked us back for another week. I
Yeah.
can't believe it either.
I know. We thought we would go somewhere and just leave everything behind. And
Well, speaking of that, that's
Yeah.
a good segue. Ron.
Okay,
I
thank you.
appreciate that.
You know how-
let's talk about traveling this episode. And I've been fortunate enough to travel a fair bit around the globe. As I'm sure you have too.
mine has been mostly on the North American continent, but
Okay.
I have traveled pretty well through much of the United States and Canada.
and
yeah.
there's beautiful places in both.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
And-
Kindersley, Saskatchewan being top. I mean, where else could you go other than Kindersley to see everything but nothing?
Well, we have sand dunes not far from here.
That's true. And if we go up, we have a stone wall. But we haven't
do.
even- yeah, and
And-
that's without. Yeah, that's you could bike that.
And we even have a highway going east to the big city.
Yes.
See, now that's you didn't know that, did you?
Yeah, but if you go the other way, you can go to the other big city.
You
But
could.
you have to cross. You have to go over a border.
That's true.
Now, when you've gone over borders,
Yes.
traveling, what has been your most what's been fun about that?
The most fun about crossing borders. Wow, probably not getting caught. I kid you. I'm
No,
not kidding.
I believe you. I believe you 100%. 103%.
I've had some interesting situations traveling. Some funny, some not so funny.
Yeah.
But, I'm just lucky that I can make it back here in one piece and tell those stories.
Good.
What happens in Vegas is supposed to stay in Vegas, so I can't tell you all of those stories.
Now, I went to Vegas.
Okay.
Once or twice. My son was working in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Nice little place.
What was he
Yeah.
doing there?
Well, he was actually serving as a stage manager at that point. Now he flies drones, and
Nice.
yeah, it's great, marvelous what he's into. But anyways, that's
Vegas is a wonderful place.
Yeah.
I mostly go there to watch people, believe it or not. I don't really gamble. I
Yeah.
walk the strip and I'll see the hotels and watch some shows.
I think that's why I like to travel. It's the people.
Yes.
More, I like some of the landscape, and you get to see amazing things. But when you get to watch people and see them in different situations, cultural settings, went to Lubbock, Texas.
Okay.
I saw Texan. You really have to. I don't even know how to describe Texan, but that was it. Lubbock, Texas. Go there. Be Texan.
Wow. And you can wear a sidearm in a holster?
I only had one arm that day. But
One arm that day? Okay.
I'm sure I could have found a sidearm. Yes.
Well, if we're speaking Vegas, and a sidearm you can use for pulling on the machine.
Okay.
right? There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm not a gambler either, so sorry.
it's okay.
Didn't get in on that one.
And long flights are always fun too.
Okay.
Because you don't know what's going to happen on a long flight.
Yeah.
I could tell you a story, but that's another time too, where a person actually passed away on a flight, and it was not fun.
Okay.
It happens. I mean, it happens.
yeah.
It's just
It
one
does.
of those things.
Yeah.
It's a traveling experience you never want to have again.
Okay, well, should we leave that and go to another, the more fun traveling
I
experiences?
think so. Yeah. Where's the most fun place you've been to besides Vegas?
Oh, besides Kindersley in Vegas?
Right.
Okay. I think one of the fun places that I've been to is somewhere in Florida. I can't even remember where. There was this place, and the Laternos had who made huge machines and all that sort of stuff, had a little place on the side of a river,
Okay.
and it was just beautiful. And this happened to be before I was, really old and had gotten married, and
Right.
they also had a nice daughter. So I don't know what else to say. The travel was great.
Well, I think one of the best places I've been to, aside from Kindersley
Yes.
and Winnipeg,
Yeah.
actually the Philippines, believe it or
Oh,
not.
that would be, yeah.
Been over there a couple of times, and there are so many beautiful places there to see. And the people there are so nice. They're so accommodating.
Yeah.
And they're always waving at me and saying, "Hi, Joe."
Yeah.
Until I realize that when they see a white face, it's like from the war, G.I. Joe. So they wave and they say hi.
Oh.
So I just wave back and smile and say hi. It's awesome.
Well, Joe, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the weather's great too.
Well, that part, I could enjoy that. Yeah.
You would, believe
Yes,
me.
I
And
would.
if you don't like heat, though, don't go.
Okay, Ronan, Montana.
I haven't been there.
Man, I tell you, there's another place, middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And just like I remember being there and thinking, isn't this like God's country? There's nothing here, but it's all here. It's sort of like Kindersley. There's nothing here, but it's all here.
And that's an interesting way to look at it.
That's why I travel. I travel to see nothing in order to see everything.
Well, you are enlightened.
I'm sure the light has dawned. I'm not sure where it is, but yes, I do love every once in a while getting just going place. Like even the days that you go out to Herschel, isn't that a great place to travel to? You come down into the valley, you enter into it's beautiful.
Okay. I think on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up today, Ron. Thank you.
Okay, well let's travel on and
Travel
that's
on.
Good, yeah.
Weather, sponsored by Achieve, the science of growing.
We've made it through the halfway point of winter, and now with January out of the way, we'll look back at what the month has brought us and what we're expecting into the beginning of February. This is Jenny Hagan with your Kindersley Social Weather Report. As you can see, January brought us big fluctuations in temperatures, well above and below our seasonal averages. Typically, January is the coldest month of our winter season in the area, so those warm-ups offered a great reprieve from the bitter cold winter temperatures. January brought us a couple notable weather events. On January 17th into the early mornings of January 18th, a Saskatchewan screamer roared across the province. A screamer, or also known as an Alberta clipper or Manitoba mauler, are fast-moving systems carrying roaring winds. Typically, there's not a lot of precipitation in these systems, but even with a light dusting of snow, those heavy wind gusts can cause whiteout conditions and drifts to accumulate, and making road conditions deteriorate quickly. On January 17th, the Kindersley area saw freezing rain warnings for most of the day. Shortly after midnight, wind gusts of near 90 kilometers an hour kicked up with a light dusting of snow. I chased that particular system just south of Swift Current near Neville, where wind predictions and snowfall predictions were much higher. Just after 3 a.m., I reported through 5.5 hours of whiteout conditions. Sometimes were hard to stand up in those 90 kilometer an hour plus wind gusts. January 2021 brought freezing rain to the area, causing dangerous road conditions. Semis and other traffic had a hard time navigating these icy roads. As you can see from this video from Kindersley Fire Department, just how treacherous those road conditions were to navigate. This photo from Lone Star Towing along with Valley Towing shows the work that goes into the cleanup after we see these weather events. And this little video from Flatlander Hank shows the ice accumulations just around Wilkie that build up on top of the snows, roads, and sidewalks, again making things very treacherous even into the next day. After a month of ups and downs, here's a look at what we're expecting into the beginning of February. I wish I could tell you all that we're looking at going back to some seasonal temperatures, but unfortunately another Arctic air mass is going to sweep over the area at the beginning of the month. Hopefully around mid-month to the end of February, we'll see a return of those more seasonal conditions. Instead of leaving you on that note though, I'll share with you a few of my favorite cold weather activities to do to pass the time as these Arctic temperatures dip in again. We'll start with the frozen soap bubbles. This activity is best done between the temperatures of -10 and -25, and it's done with items that are most commonly found in your house on a regular day. So what you will need is 200 milliliters of warm water, 35 milliliters of dish soap, 35 milliliters of corn syrup, and a couple tablespoons of sugar. And then you just need a container and a spoon to stir that all up with. So what you're gonna do is add that corn syrup to the water and then stir in your dish soap. Add in the sugar and put it in the freezer for just a few minutes to cool down. And then you're gonna head outside to an area sheltered from the wind. Using a straw, you're gonna blow a bubble and watch as it freezes. The colder the temperatures, the faster this process is gonna happen. Did you know that you can make your own snow using boiling water? After all, snow is just precipitation that falls as frozen water. This activity is incredibly easy to do, but offers a little bit of risk, so adult supervision is highly recommended. What you want for this activity is frigid cold temperatures, at least -35 degrees Celsius. And what you're gonna do is bring that water to a rolling boil, head outside and just toss it in the air, ensuring you toss it away from yourself and not at anyone else. If you want a safe alternative for the children to participate in this activity, you can add that boiling water to a water gun and just let them spray it out. Again, not at anyone else. Here in Saskatchewan, we definitely know what it's like to be frozen, and I guess that's why we can have so much fun with this next activity. There are so many different items you can freeze, from noodles in midair to eggs. By far, one of my favorite ones is freezing pants. This little tongue-in-cheek activity where we literally can freeze our pants off here is a lot of fun for the whole family, and there's endless ways to set up your display. All you're gonna do is soak your pants in a little bit of warm water and set them outside to freeze. I find sticking a balloon in the top, and you can even use pool noodles for the leg to give the pants a little dimension and just have fun with your display. If you participate in any of these activities or have any weather videos or photos to share with us, please share them with us on social media or email them to hello@kindersleysocial.ca.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm still Kevin, and
I'm still Ron.
cool. Well, we got our names right.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that.
Those extra 2 years in grade 4 paid off. I'll tell you what. That's all good.
Yeah, it is good.
I know we talked about the pandemic a little bit, and you know, some of the chaos that it can then cause in a family or even at a workplace.
Yeah.
And I think you had some interesting insights. I'd kind of like you to share if you don't mind.
Yeah, one of my Kindersley Social editorials that I did in the printed edition back in January, actually, talked a little bit about the question of why do we fight, and coming to that, you have to start thinking about it. Why do we fight? Well, we think that we want to be independent, completely independent. Nobody's the boss of me, and therefore, if you get in my way, we're going to fight. And the interesting thing is that in amongst all the independence, all the freedom marches, everything that we're involved in, I don't think there is a point at which we are ever truly, if you want to use the word independent or without a boss or whatever, we always have a boss. Bob Dylan, you got to serve somebody. So pick and choose who you're going to serve. Man, I tell you.
And you know what? As silly as it sounds, most of us, we always want to be right.
Oh.
And heaven forbid
that's right,
that you
because
try to change my mind because I'm right.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with me, we're going to fight. I know. I mean that in a respectful way. I mean,
yeah, because you'd lose. So
of course.
What can we say about that? But that is part of our psyche is just this idea that I don't want ever to have anybody else be the boss of me. My kids used to say that when they're growing up. They say, "You're not the boss of me." Okay, that
I can understand that.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that, but to a certain age, you actually are the boss of them, though.
Yeah,
They don't
exactly.
realize that.
Yeah, Yeah.
Well, if they're 21, then it's a bit different.
And that's part of our social system is to say, here's a point, 18, 21, where you become an adult, so that we increase the sense of independence. And part of being a parent is to lead children to independence.
Yes.
But I think also part of it is to teach our kids and ourselves that you're always going to have someone who infringes on you. You're always going to have someone who's your boss. You're always going to have someone who's coming in. And the question is, how do you deal with that instead of fighting?
It can be difficult because sometimes you feel very strongly about something, and maybe you weren't taught, some people, the proper way to deal with those feelings. And the only way they know how is by violence or by something inappropriate.
One of the weirdest things that I found in life is that the books of etiquette that were put out and all these things came out, they were actually there to help us so we didn't fight. Or when we fought, we knew what was coming our way. It was,
true.
And so the fight was on equal terms.
Yes.
As compared to getting rid of etiquette nowadays, we don't know how to fight each other.
Well,
that's a really weird thing to say.
Yeah, we do so, but it's not correct.
Yes.
It's not appropriate at all.
Right, and too much of I've watched over the last 2 years, and we've thrown etiquette out the door. We've thrown almost everything out the door in order to express our selfishness and our rights and say, this is what I want, and I don't care what you want. And when it comes to that point, the world disintegrates, quite literally.
And we just have to sit back and kind of just do a double take and just kind of rethink and just calm down.
Yeah.
And realize that you're not the only person around. You're not the only person here. You have other people to think about, like you said.
And I think one of the things we have to do is we have to listen way better than we do. Actively get into it and speak back. When somebody says something to me, I immediately know exactly what they said.
Right.
And it's not what they said. And sometimes we just have to say, okay, what I heard you saying was.
Yes.
And the other person then has to say back, yeah, no, that's not what I said. Now, I tried this just this last week with somebody, and they were doing really well until the one said, no, that's not even close.
So your active listening went right out the window?
Well, actually, then the other person said, well, you're right. And then they actually started to talk.
Oh, cool.
And the fighting that could have happened, it actually came back to a good discussion, and
nice.
It turned out very well.
Healthy dialogue is great.
It is great, yes.
It's just unfortunate that it's few and far between.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes, very unfortunately. So why do we fight? Because I'm me and you're you, and
we're out of time. Next time.
And we're out of time.
All right.
Just a quick word from our sponsor, Kindersley Social. Kindersley Social is your free local news source, dedicated to providing fresh and exciting content to our local community of Kindersley, Saskatchewan. For the latest local news, visit kindersleysocial.ca or pick up one of our free magazines available in over 50 locations across our great town. If you're a local business looking for affordable advertising, look no further. We offer online and print ads in our magazine, as well as full HD video commercials at the Sunset Theatre, HD TVs across town, and our Highway Jumbotron. Visit our website at kindersleysocial.ca, and don't forget to follow Kindersley Social on Facebook to join the conversation.
Hey, I'm Kevin, and
I'm Ron.
Still.
Yes.
You haven't gone anywhere and you haven't changed.
No, I have not.
Cool.
Hardly at all.
Beautiful. So we thought we'd do a Siskel and Ebert thing.
Yeah.
And for those who remember, Roger Siskel and Gene Ebert were, or Gene Siskel, Robert, anyway.
Yeah, those two.
Those two, they were movie reviewers.
Yeah.
And they were quite famous. So we thought we'd kind of talk about our favorite movies that we are currently watching or have watched.
Yeah, we want to be famous, so please listen.
Yes, and please send in your dollars, and we'll keep this show going, and
sure,
we'll go from there. So, Ron, what's currently on your watch list? I'm going to throw you under the bus.
Okay,
right away.
I'm under the bus first. Well, one of the interesting movies that we have Netflix, and I think most of us have some kind of streaming service or whatever that we're using to watch things nowadays. Funny thing is, I came across one called "Don't Look Up," and really, exactly. My show. Okay. I need a chiropractor. Okay, so don't look up. But the interesting thing about this movie is that after my wife and I had sort of watched, we began to understand that there's all sorts of controversy about it. And believe it or not, controversy coming in part from a whole religious group of people.
Okay.
There is, the quick, without too much of a spoiler, a something from outer space is coming towards us. Oh, we should mind the planet. Oh no, we don't want to do that. Oh, we're good people. Oh, we're bad people. Oh, it's coming and it's getting closer. Oh, we should blow it up. Oh no, we should. Okay, all that's like, you could find that all the way through the whole thing.
Right.
Finally, they get to a rally and they're finishing off, and the speaker is saying, don't look up. Because if you look up, you see reality, and if you don't look up, then you sort of live with what the reality that is being created by an elite group. So it touches on everything from mainstream media and the stupidity of mainstream media as they're concerned with it, and also many of the other topics of nowadays. The interesting thing is, at the very end of the movie, you find an ex-evangelical, ex-Christian person sitting around a table, everybody knowing that this asteroid's going to blow them up because they've been part of figuring it out. And they say, well, we should pray. Well, nobody knows how to pray. Well, this fellow starts praying, and it's probably one of the best prayers that I've heard in a long time. And then the movie finishes, and I guess everybody blows up except for somebody that flies away in a spaceship, or I don't know. It has enough in it that you'll be walking away and saying, I wonder what they were really trying to say. It actually makes you think, which I like in a movie. Some of the other movies I've seen,
So I'm supposed to follow this now with my own review.
Yes, whatever yours is.
Wow. Well, currently,
I hope it's like a rom-com or something like that.
We're actually rewatching season 1 of The Witcher on Netflix. We watched it before when it came out. I really liked it. We watched season 2, but we kind of missed some things. So we're starting to re-watch the first season again, starring Henry Cavill, who played Superman.
Okay.
And he plays, and that's actually based on a book, and I forget the author's name at this point.
Not the Superman is a comic.
It is.
I did see it. I don't know. I wrecked it. Sorry.
Santa Claus is no longer either.
I know. It's
okay, fine. But anyway, he plays a witcher who's kind of like a monster hunter.
Okay.
It's very interesting, actually. And if I was not familiar with this at all. Yeah. I would actually need to get the book because they're going to make it season 3, 4, and 5. Very cool. If you like that kind of fantasy swordplay kind of thing, it's very, very interesting. The Witcher with Henry Cavill.
Okay. I'm not that's not my thing.
Oh.
But
so you shouldn't watch that then.
This is the other thing about movies.
Right.
Before we run out of time here, is why do people watch movies?
I think it's just to escape reality and to focus on just watching something that's totally bizarre and not real, like Spider-Man, for example.
Okay. But you're wrecking it for all of those dramatic people. I mean, drama people
right.
who say that there should be some important thing that comes out of the movie that changes the world.
But sometimes you just need an escape from real life.
I think so, and I think we should almost escape out of this movie review at this point.
So I think send in your reviews of what you think you'd like us to look at for a movie, and we'll come up with a review next time for you.
Yeah, we may.
Yeah, we may.
We're very excited to talk about our latest sponsor, GEM Creative Solutions. GEM Creative Solutions is a multidisciplinary communications agency with design, strategy, and advertising divisions, specializing in branding and promotion for small businesses and beyond. Specializing in corporate, consumer, retail, media branding, and promotional applications, GEM Creative Solutions can take your business to the next level. We focus on small business growth from business cards and posters to storefront signage. GEM's core services include print and production services, video and photography, branding and promotion, strategy and analytics, and all sorts of small and large format signage. Visit gem-cws.ca for more info and examples of our work. That's gem-cws.ca. Or call 306-463-9435 for a no-obligation quote.
Events sponsored by Royal Flush, the company for septic services. Flatlanders Release 2022 schedule. Flatlanders Speedway has released their 2022 tentative schedule. The race season will begin June 4th at 2 p.m. with more to follow throughout the summer. In previous summers, COVID has slightly altered how and when the races occurred, but hopefully this summer is full swing ahead. For more information, please call Jason at 430-1359. Job Fair. Don't forget the Great Trade and Job Fair of 2022 is happening on Wednesday, February 9th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Kinnersley Mall. This is a great opportunity for anyone looking to change careers, students looking for part-time or summer employment, or for graduates looking for a post-graduation career. Anyone looking for an apprenticeship is also encouraged to attend. Please remember to bring your resume and we hope to see you there.
We would like to introduce our latest sponsor of today's show, Impact Energy. Impact Energy is an electrical, plumbing, heating and cooling, and instrumentation contractor serving residential, commercial, and industrial customers. With 50 members, 25 service trucks, and 3 strategic locations across the prairies, we've built a reputation for our expertise and professionalism and for our unwavering commitment to a job well done. Count on Impact to be there when it matters most, to get the job done right, and to support the communities in which we operate. Visit impact-energy.ca for more info. That's impact-energy.ca. Impact Energy, there when it matters most.
Hey, it's February.
Yes.
That's still Ron.
Yes, I'm still Ron.
And I think I'm still Kevin.
That's what I understand. Looking at you, it's certainly yes.
I know I'm easy on the eyes, and I appreciate that. However,
you are a true image of yourself. What more can I say?
that says it all.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'm so glad because
I'm glad we're on the same side and we're not fighting.
no,
again.
Definitely not. We'd never do that.
And for those people who are familiar with this mug, I am the, for better for worse, the face of the Kindersley and District Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Because I'm the most visible. Doesn't mean I'm the best, but I am the most visible.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot going on with the Chamber, Ron. I'm not sure if you know that.
That's part of what I want to hear. Yeah, let's talk about that because, yeah.
Well, the job fair in February, it's going to be great. As well, we're looking at businesses or people who are wanting to retire in the next 5 years. They call that succession planning.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a number of steps you have to take as a business person to get to where you want to be to make sure your business is valued at the correct amount.
Right.
Because if you're not going to sell your business for the right amount, you're going to retire poor.
Definitely.
And nobody wants that. So there are some hard questions you have to ask yourself, and you have to do some of the work. You can't just fob it off onto somebody else.
Right.
You've got to get legal advice, you've got to get financial advice, and you just got to make sure your business is spruced up to look as good as it can. Mm-hmm. And otherwise, why would somebody want to buy it?
Well, yeah, and that's always a question that I have looking at businesses because oftentimes some of the service businesses there's not much inventory, so you can't sort of walk in and say, okay, $350 for this, $400 for this, we add it all up, and therefore your business is worth this.
Right.
We're really talking reputation, what type of things as you look at that?
Unfortunately, some businesses have closed that have not been able to find owners. So like Curly's Small Engine Repair.
Right, yeah.
We desperately would love someone to step back into that role and to repair small engines. Rototillers, lawnmowers, what have you. Another business we would like to have someone take over is appliance repair. The fellow doing that, he would like to retire.
Yeah,
It's a little hard because he's the only one around. And if you don't have someone here, if your stove or your fridge decides not to work, you may have to take it into Saskatoon to a repair dealer. And is that inconvenient? Of course it is.
No, definitely not. Oh, never. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. No.
So,
yes,
I mean, those are the
that.
kinds of things that we're, businesses we're trying to fill as well. And leading into that, the Chamber is also involved with Sunwest School Division and our 7 local area high schools. And we are initiating for the second time an entrepreneur program. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to target the students in the 10, 11, and 12 range to see if they're interested in owning a business or purchasing their own business, starting or taking over, I should say, their own business. So that's interesting because we finally have the backing, so to speak, of the Sunwest School Division head office.
Excellent.
And the series of interviews that we did last year with local businesses and celebrities.
Yes,
we had Brent Butt and Rod Peterson. And we also had people from around town.
And you.
And me. Well,
where did that come from?
That's a good question. Okay. It's out of left field. And we actually have been asked to expand that program.
Excellent.
They would like us to interview other people, successful business people in other communities, so that the students in those communities can, there's a local successful person. Let's see what they've got going on. Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Oh, that's a great
the Chamber
thing.
is involved in that. We're still giving out lots of the COVID rapid test kits. That's a good thing too.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I was one that took advantage of that. Yes.
Thank you. I certainly think that more people are taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
And that's good to see. Of course, our Goose Festival coming up again in the fall.
Okay, so I have to ask this because in 1979, must have been 78, 79, I was also almost the potato peeling champion.
Wow.
Of all the pastors in town.
What happened? Who did you lose to?
Frank Netter.
Why did
you
lose?
Don't ever, because Frank's way too fast.
Oh, I see.
It's like this, and I'm just, I'm trying to make the potato work, for me.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't care. Just,
okay.
Yeah.
So obviously he was more experienced in the kitchen then.
Yeah, and obviously it was a very traumatic situation.
Well,
for me.
I think
that's why Goose Fest just holds this both the excitement and yes.
I think you recovered marvelously.
Thank you. I'm not so sure about that.
Did you do the goose plucking?
Oh, I stayed away from that one because No,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, last year turned out really, really good. The weather really cooperated. Mm-hmm. We had 4 food trucks. We had a lot of people out having a great time. So if luck is with us, we're going to hopefully have that again this year.
Yeah, that would be great.
Our Chamber Golf Tournament is scheduled again for next September, the week, I think the week after the September long weekend.
Okay,
and we had a great success with that last year.
Yeah. Or as you might say, we had a ball with that one last year. Yeah.
Really? What's so funny about that?
That didn't go over, did it? That was really bad. Let me say that again. It doesn't even go. Yeah,
I got it.
Can't even get
I got
right.
It. It's okay. I thought that was beneath you, but that's okay.
That's all right. I believe it's staying above on the greens.
But you wanted to go in the hole, so it's below you. Beneath you. See?
He's good.
Hey, I was born at night, but not last night.
Yeah. Well, you realize I'm really good with jokes. I like them the first time I hear them. I like the first time I tell them. I like the first time I get them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a trifecta, right?
It is. Wow.
Son of a gun.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to bet on that one, I'll tell you.
No, and I thought I heard a beep in the background. I wonder if they're telling us to get off the air.
Maybe. Could be.
Wow. Yeah. But anyway, the Chamber is the place to be. We're really busy. We're doing a lot of things. And if you want to help out with the Chamber, give me a call at the office, 306-463-2320. I'll be happy to set you up, and away we go. And I think
that's it. Away we go.
Away we go. So until next month, stay safe, everybody.
Yes.
Hi everyone, be sure to grab a free copy of our bi-weekly print issue in over 50 locations across Kinnersley. Also included in our magazine is the free Kinnersley Social Extra, where we publish things like community events for nonprofits and obituaries for free. If you would like to be featured in our magazine or have something advertised, please email hello@kinnersleysocial.ca.